Good evening, fellow paranormal enthusiasts. I'm here tonight to talk about a very serious subject. I'm just kidding, guys. Hey, we wanted to touch base with you guys. We've got some really cool stuff that's going on, and really wanted to kind of share some things that were happening. So I want to definitely get into things and talk a little bit. But as you guys know, like to keep things as informal as possible. It's just kind of how we are. A couple of things that we wanted to address and talk about tonight is going to be the television show or the web series. We have been working really, really hard on this thing, and I just want to kind of give everybody an idea about what that's all about. And I think, in this universe, everything's about intention. Why are you doing this? Why are you putting this thing out? And as many of you guys know, I've been really blessed and fortunate to be involved in a lot of different paranormal television programs and things along those lines. But unfortunately, in a lot of those television shows, as everybody knows, there's a lot of false things that happen. Let's just put it that way. And the thing that always really bothered me about these shows that came out was they were scripted. Even if the evidence was real, the shows were put together in a script. So for years and years, I tried to talk to different producers and different networks about doing a real show. And I think the thing that really scares a network about something like that is, what if nothing happens? And again, as blessed as I've been, my mother's been, my team's been, we always usually seem to have something happen, whether that's something amazing through paranormal evidence, or it's someone having an experience using the ghost box and me doing a reading, or whatever the case might be. We've always had people that said, I would just love to follow you guys along on the adventure and see these things really happen. And the skeptics say, if these things really are happening, why aren't you documenting everything? Well, all of these purposes that have come together in this basically has said, this is why we need to do this project. No one who is involved in this web series is a quote-unquote professional filmmaker. Been absolutely blessed, and I'm going to let her talk a little bit more about this here tonight. One of the people who came to a few of my events actually had an experience where she contacted someone, and I really want her to give you that experience. But to let you know, she's a film student, and she's very, very talented. She's doing some amazing things. But we talked one night after an event, and we both agreed we have to do this project. We have to put this thing together, not to become rich and famous. The whole idea behind it was so that you guys could see the experiences that we have, and that you're able to go out with us when you can't be there and see these amazing things that happen. So what I'd like to do really quickly is I'd like to flip the camera around and let you see my amazing friend here, Rachel. And she's going to talk a little bit about why she became involved in this and how this is all working. So I'm going to flip this around. We'll take questions here in a few minutes, guys, so hold on a second. And there's Rachel.
Good.
Hi, Rachel.
Hello. So my name is Rachel. Like Chris said, I am studying film. I want to be a cinematographer, a director, do some editing, which is mostly what I do for the Ghost Box Paranormal Society. When I first met Chris, I was a little younger than I am now, and it's one of the first things I ever did by myself. And I went to this event because I had loved paranormal investigation and ghost hunting and just all of it since I was very young, and I had recently just gotten out of a not so positive investigation with another group. So I came to Christopher Moon's session and had a gallery done, and I got into contact with someone that I was very close to a long time ago. Now, that changed my entire life. It changed how I performed and acted and just behaved every single day, and it was so special to me. And so I approached him and told him, this is incredible. It's almost like filling a hole in your heart, and I can't thank you enough. And so we got to talking, and I told him I was a film student. And from there on, it's like 1 minute we were just talking, and then the next we're sitting down and editing a show together. And it's been such an incredible ride. Like, keep in mind, everything that we're doing, I'm learning as we go. It's been such a blessing to come and actually still be in college and almost have a job and have this field experience as well, and better yet, in the field that I love. It's like definitely being blessed, you know. You're like this wonderful like career, being so young, and with this production, we're not being paid. It's a labor of love, and that's it. I actually work unloading industrial trucks so we can get together some good equipment and stuff like that. Like, that's what it is. We're working day jobs and then going and doing what we do whenever we have free time. So it's not like, I mean, I'm not that big of a person. I just want, you know, an apartment, help my parents, you know, and see a full-bodied apparition. That's what I want in my life. But yeah. Anything else?
Good for now. A lot of people remember you.
Really? Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
So I'm going to flip back around really quickly. Hi guys, it's me again. So wanted to let you know the name of the show is going to be The Ghost Box Chronicles. Again, The Ghost Box Chronicles. Hashtag GBC, hashtag Ghost Box Chronicles. We are going to be debuting the show February 1st. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Mountain. Mm-hmm. So you guys have to do all the math with that. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. here, and 6 Pacific. And, you know, we're putting this thing together, and it's been a learning experience for me. I sit with Rachel, and it's a learning experience for her too. So we sit together and we go through the chronological aspect of it and the sound and things. It's not going to be perfect right off the bat, I promise. But we are vowing to make it the best show possible. And we're going to make it better every single episode that comes out. We're going to improve the audio and the video and all the sorts of different things that go along with it. But we want to reiterate to you guys again, we're not getting rich off of this. We're doing this for you. And I want you guys to understand the reason we're doing this is because this is your show. Okay? This is a show that genuinely delves into the metaphysical, the paranormal, spirit rescue, soul connections, using the Ghost Box, Frank's Box, as everybody knows. And it's really important that you guys understand that we're doing this because we want to take you along on the adventure. You know, if the day comes where we're blessed enough to be able to make a living just for doing this, you know, we'll be thrilled. But that's not the purpose right now. We just want to be able to continue to give you guys the actual experiences that we put out there and really let you live the experiences along with us. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. And I guess that's it. I guess that's the main purpose. What's that?
The production techniques, like what we're doing.
Oh, yeah, that's so important. Okay, so I'm going to flip back to Rachel because she's going to talk about the production techniques. Hold on, here we go. Okay.
So one thing that we wanted to stress was how unique our techniques are going to be when we're on location. There will be no, can you do this again? Can you say this again? There will be none of that. We're not going to, you know, the lighting that we have, we're going to deal with what we have. It's on the move every single minute. Whatever I set a camera up in front of someone, make sure they're comfortable, and then whatever they want to talk about their experiences, they just go. I mean, and we're here to listen to them. So it's not going to be like, hey, can you say this way or say this again? There are no second cuts. Whatever you're seeing in the show is the first time that's happened and the last time it's happened, and it's it's the only way we can think of for each reaction to be very, very genuine. Each interview is very, very genuine. They're saying it in their own way and in their own time, and we're just here to capture, or I'm just here to capture what's going on and have, you know, them do what they do about the box. And it's definitely a ride. It's running around behind Chris, making sure that my frame is right is what we're doing. So we hope to get better at that too. And every single thing we want to be genuine.
Flip back to me for a second. So one thing that we've started doing, and I know this sounds kind of crazy, is again, nothing is staged, nothing is planned. It's just, it is what it is. We are genuinely, and I know this sounds crazy to a lot of people, but I think a lot of you can bear with me on this one and understand, we are having Spirit, the universe, produce this show right along with us. And we kind of went with that mission statement to just let it happen the way that it was going to happen. And so far, it's incredible. We've already been led on this huge journey, and it's just going to get better and better and better. And we're going to be doing this all over the country, hopefully all over the world. There's some rumors out there. Things are going on that we're going to be taking the cameras overseas to do some things over there as well. And you're going to see some people that you recognize from the paranormal field, some good friends of ours that are actually going to be starring in this or guest starring in this, unbeknownst to them maybe, at some of these conferences that we go to. But we're going to try to film anything and everything that has to do with this. There's going to be some flattering moments and some not so flattering moments, but you're going to get to know my mother, myself, Rachel, Dina. You're going to get to know everybody very, very well, better than you do now. And we're really excited about that. We think it's really exciting. You know, we're in a position where thanks to Melanie Muir, I want to thank her. She actually gave us the idea to start filming over Facebook Live to start doing our investigations. And we did that at the Molly Brown house back last summer. And it blew up. And now I know there's a lot of people who are starting to do that. And anytime you do anything, people are going to kind of pick up on it and do their own thing, which is fine. But we're really going to bring that in. And as many of you know and participated in that session that we did from the Lumber Baron Inn, everybody who was there and did the live interactive ghost hunt with us, we thank you guys. You are genuinely going to be a part of this show. You're going to be put right into the cut along with everybody who's there live. So again, I just want to reiterate, this is your show as much as it is ours, okay? And we want your interaction. We want your thoughts. We want to know, hey, what do you want to see next time? What would make this even better? That's really the goal here. We want you guys to really enjoy this and feel like it's interactive and that you are a true part of everything that's going on with this thing. The other thing I want to mention, and I can't really mention, is that there's going to be something really, really cool happening right behind the shows, but I can't tell you what that is yet. We're going to wait until about 3 days before the show comes out, so make sure to stay tuned. It's just so awesome. The idea is so awesome, and I love the name of it, and yes. it's one of those things. God, I'm so we just want you guys to really enjoy. And you know, this is one of those situations where we've only told a very few people, and they know that they're under penalty of death. Nobody can say anything at this point. So, but yeah, we're really excited about that stuff. What I'd like to do, and I see you guys are all commenting, I apologize I haven't been able to do this yet, but we want to take some questions from you guys. We want to, you know, be able to answer any questions you guys have about the show, what's going on, our lives in general, hot and sour soup, whatever you guys want to go into, we can do that. You know, we're good like that. So I'm going to first, if it's okay with you, I'm going to turn the camera over to Rachel, and she's going to read off the questions coming across the bottom, but you're going to have to get me in the frame.
Like, what do you mean? Actually, it's not turned around yet.
Okay, there we go.
You're
Hi. Okay.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I am so new to this, so please be gentle.
Okay.
Please be kind.
Please. So any questions that you guys have for me, I'd love to answer them for you right now, and then we'll let Rachel answer some questions too.
So Larry and Melinda Conley ask, what kind of places are you going to be investigating?
We're going to be doing investigations all over the country, both known locations, and we're going to be doing some private investigations. some not so known haunted places that are out there we've already been invited into, and we're just really excited to get out there and really find out what's there. And anybody who's kind of followed the work that we do, our goal is to go in, do the investigation, pull out the ghost box, and actually be able to communicate with those spirits and learn not only about who they were then, but who they are now.
KK wants to know, Tyler wants to know if he can join on a hunt, and when are you in Denver?
Oh, that's a great question, actually. Yeah. Hi, Kay. Thank you. And thank you for your contribution, by the way. Carla actually and Tyler contributed a drone to our filming, so we're very excited about that. We're still going to have to learn how to use it, but we're going to be using it. So thank you for that. We are going to be filming a lot of the public events that we do. So you guys, not only over Facebook and Facebook Live, but also in person, if you come to the events, you'll become part of the cast. You'll become a part of everything that happens. So warning beforehand, we're going to ask you guys to sign photo releases so that you can become part of the web series.
James Schwull wants to know, wash, repeat, wash, or wash, then condition?
Wash, then condition. And it needs to be a seaweed shampoo. If you do anything else, it's just not worth it. And I would do the head shake right now, but I don't want to go out of frame.
Megan Sarita asks, are you going to visit college campuses again?
Yes, this is something exciting that's going on. We'll be doing our college tour, my mother and I, as we do every year since, boy, I've been doing this since 2006. I'm feeling old. But yeah, we'll be coming back to the college campuses, and we're hoping to bring the cameras with us and actually do some episodes involving the students, because some of the college campuses, we've had the most amazing evidence that pops through. And then when we do the readings, I think college students really have some really cool emotional things that happen.
Someone just offered us another drone.
We will accept.
Alex
Thank you.
Brandling.
Alex, we're going to hold you to that. Thank you. Blessings. Thank you so much for that.
Sue Smith Prashusta asks, we would love to have you at the Malvern Manor. Ooh.
We would love to be there. Absolutely.
That sounds cool.
You can actually get in touch with me through Facebook if you'd like to, and we can set up the details and come out and do that.
Ooh, Helen Rose Jacobs, will you be investigating any disused old asylums? And when are you coming to London, UK? Ooh.
Yes to the asylums. We are doing that. Stateside, we're doing that right now. Like I said, we have something in the works, and I'm hoping it's gonna go for us. In the UK, and I don't think I'm supposed to divulge where it is right now, but it's a very cool location. I just got a chance to look at it yesterday, and it will be super exciting. And the best part about that, again, not only are we filming it for the show, but you can actually come to the event live and become part of the show and part of the investigation.
Pam Overstreet asks, coming back to the Ben on Sport soon?
I didn't understand that one.
BENTONSPORT.
Oh, Benton Sport.
Yes, because I can't read or
it's
spell.
Okay, Rachel. It's all right. We got this. Of course, Mason House Inn 3 or 4 times a year, every year since 2005. Yes, we'll be back. If you go to the Mason House site or my calendar on my website on chrismoonpsychic.com, you can find all the dates for that. And yes, we will definitely be filming the Mason House, one of my favorite locations in the entire world. Hi, Chuck and Joy. Love you guys.
Pamela Smith Berg asks, Waverly Hills? ?
We will see. As you guys know, I did Waverly Hills many years ago. I think 2000. I want to say 2007. And anybody who came to that event, we had a pretty crazy experience there between shadow people and all the things that we captured on film, and using again the ghost box and speaking to all the patients. That was incredible. So it's a possibility. Yeah, I'd love to go back to Waverly Hills.
James Schul asks, with new technology, will you always use Frank's, or what's your thoughts?
That's a great question. Thanks, James. I'll never forget James's reading, by the way, at Scarefest. He had one of the best. Made a great connection. Anyway, yeah, when it comes to Frank's box, we've lost Frank, and everything that I do with spirit communication is owed to Frank Sumption. Frank Sumption was one of the greatest human beings I've ever known. Not only as a person and an inventor, a physical medium, but just a genuinely good soul. And when we lost Frank, we didn't know where the technology was going to go. I still use one of the boxes, 32, that he built for me. And I still have a lot of the other ones that I use from time to time and try to keep in the best working order that I can. But I started working with Andre. Many of you in the Ghost Box community know who Andre is. And Andre's built me 2 great machines as well. And the reason that I like working with Andre's machines too is because he really kind of, I felt, kept or attempted to keep Frank's legacy moving forward. He's done a great job. So I always, love to use the Frank's box. That's kind of like my security blanket. I love it. It still works the best, but I also enjoy Andre's technology too.
Lee says hi, and so does Denise.
Hi.
Sue Smith also asks, have you been to Missouri State Penitentiary?
Not yet, but I actually received an invitation out there a few years ago. I'd like to go out there and check that out. I think that would be great.
KK asks, will you be accepting any donations to help with the cost of the show?
This is something that we've really gone back and forth on. We, again, we're doing this all out of our own pockets and time, and I can't even express how much time is being spent with this thing right now. We have talked about some different options for if fans really like what we do and want to support us. We're talking about possibly doing a funding sort of thing just to keep us going, just to pay for travel costs and production expenses and things like that. But it's still in the works, so we're gonna see where that goes.
Mm-hmm. Connie Schmidt-Gowen asks, hi from Iowa, sweeties. Any advice on visiting Basilica Axe Murder House? Stay overnight or not?
Oh boy, Villisca. Yeah, that, again, if you guys remember, did the Ghost Hunter University at Villisca it's when Darwin, one of the owners, he's passed away since, but when he was still alive there, I'll never forget what happened. We got in, and it was the first time that I used the box that I just was talking about, 32, and got into the house and had some really crazy, creepy stuff happen in there. And we went out to the old barn, I imagine still there, and I turned on the box, and Darwin was standing next to me, one of his guides was standing next to me, and I just started reciting about the murder, about everything that had happened. And I remember them looking at me going, wow, you've just recited like theory number 2 or something like that. And I was like, oh, that made sense. And he goes, yeah, but I believe it's theory number 3. And he just turned his back and walked away. I just thought that was always hilarious. But yeah, Villisca, I don't recommend it for people who are just starting out doing this kind of stuff. It's very dark. It definitely left an imprint on me. And I always tell people, I had an attendee who came to that event that after the event was so frightened by the things that had taken place that night that he went to a hotel room in Omaha and locked himself up for a week because he was too afraid to leave from the things he'd seen. So you've got to be really careful. We always talk about that, respecting ghost hunting, grounding yourself, being cautious, knowing what you're doing and what you're getting into.
Jane Blanket asks, you need to come to South Australia. There are heaps of places that haven't been covered by other investigators I can show you.
First off, hi, good to see you. We would absolutely love to come out there. And again, that's one of those funding things. We've got to see how we can put that all together. If we can put together the financing to do stuff like that, believe me, all of us will be more than willing to travel all over the world to come see some amazing locations. And we would like to go to those places that haven't necessarily been overrun to this point. We'd like to do some new places.
Here's a question. Is Frank's box the same as the Geo box Nick Groff uses on a Paranormal Lockdown?
That's a great question. No, it's very different. Frank's box, and for those who don't know, my mom and I, actually, I'm not trying to do a commercial here, but we just wrote a book that's going to be coming out on Llewellyn in August of next year called Ghost Box. And it goes into the history of all of this and how it all came to be. But the Reader's Digest version, Frank contacted me quite a while ago, in the very beginning, early 2000s, and basically said he had this machine. I went and saw it. Honestly, didn't think that it worked when I first got it, and it wasn't until about a year later I took it out to the Sally House in Atchison, Kansas, and had direct two-way communication with spirits at that point, and realized that this machine truly was what I consider to be Thomas Edison's telephone to the dead, the communication device that Edison worked on before he passed away. And it just kind of went from there. So there's been a lot of different versions of the box since that point. I went on Coast to Coast in 2007, and I started talking about my work with the box, and Frank came on and talked about building it, and a lot of people started copying it right then and there. And I'm not here to comment on anybody's devices or inventions or anything like that, but when it comes down to it, there's very few devices that I've been able to find that work for me. Frank's box works for me because I'm a medium. It's built by a physical medium who is Frank, and I think that that's the reason I power the device, I receive the messages back through, and I think that that's why it works for me. The GeoBox I'm not completely familiar with, but the sound clips that I've heard from it and descriptions and the way that it works doesn't seem to have anything to really do with Frank's creation. So no, I think it's different.
James also says, love that story. He thought Chris was FBI.
Frank was, yeah. We always say Frank was an eccentric guy, but that's what made Frank Frank.
Someone else asked, when are you going to do another Facebook Live Spirit Box session by Denise?
Oh, soon, I hope. We're actually planning on, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think we're planning on doing Facebook Live sessions from the majority of the locations that we go to,
yep,
and letting you guys be the investigators along with us. I know it's a remote thing, but at least you can ask questions, and you never know. Sometimes it's just that one question that gets the answer that we need, that'll lead us to the next clue. So guys, please keep tuning in for that kind of stuff. Another thing that I'd like to do in the near future is I'd like to do just a Facebook Live from anywhere, doesn't really matter where it is, and maybe just do kind of a gallery reading for the Facebook Live people, if you guys would be up for that, just for fun.
Yeah, just a lot of likes, a lot of love, and just kind of exactly, and go ahead. Is there anything else you want to talk about in particular?
You know, I'm so excited about the project, guys. This truly is a labor of love. This is something that each person who's involved with this is just dedicating so much time to. I cannot tell you how much I respect Rachel for what she's doing, because not only is she balancing an insane school schedule, an insane work schedule, I mean, just life in general. She was up working into past midnight on Christmas Eve, just trying to work on the project to get things matched up and make it work. And yeah, we're flying by the seat of our pants doing this, and we're kind of guessing as we go. But I'm proud of it. I'm already proud of everything that's coming out of this thing, and I really think that you guys are going to love it. And the surprise behind it, which I can't talk about, is the coolest part. It's going to be something really exciting, and I know it's never been done, as far as I know. It's never been done with a web-based series.
Linda Marquis says hi.
Hi.
Dina says hi. Just
Hi.
a lot of highs and a lot of love.
Hi.
Megan Sarita asks, if we wanted a private reading with you and your mom, where could we contact you?
Oh boy, this sounds like a commercial now. You can always contact us through Facebook. That's always an easy way to go. Just let us know. We can. And I hate to do this. This week I really kind of dedicated not only to the show, but I wanted to get in private readings for people because I have so many requests for them, and my time is just crazy. But you can always request it. I've decided to do a few next week too. So if you guys are interested, get in touch with me on Facebook. We'll talk about it, make it work. We can do phone, Skype, in person, whatever works for you. We are doing a really cool event in upstate New York, in Buffalo. So that's going to be a psychic fair that we're doing up there on I believe, February 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. And Daniel Kloss is the one who's putting that together. So we're excited about coming up there and doing that. So you can also get a live session up there as well.
Elaine
Hi,
Brian is on, and she says, I cannot thank you enough for helping me to understand who is in our house and what their needs are, and mostly connecting me to my girls.
I got to tell you guys, everybody who's listening right now, Elaine and Joel are the owners of the Lumber Baron and the new owners, and could not be more amazing people. They have just been absolutely incredible to work with. So I just have to say how proud I am to be associated with them, and I have to thank them as always for allowing us to come into their home and do all the crazy things that we do, and just being good friends. They're really awesome. Oh, and little plug for them. They have a restaurant that's opening up, and I've heard amazing things. I'm actually going tomorrow morning for breakfast to go try it out, and I'll give you guys my online review.
Sue Smith also asks, how is Mama Moon? Looking forward to seeing you at Mason House in this March.
Yeah, Mom's doing good. She's excited about all the crazy things that we have coming up for next year. And we're excited to see you guys too. It's going to be a lot of fun to come back to the Mason House. The other thing that we're doing too is, and I haven't been able to announce this yet, so this is kind of fun too. We're going to be doing a very extensive, hopefully worldwide, book tour starting in August. So we're going to be trying to go out and see anybody and everybody who's out there signing books, doing some presentations, doing readings, doing all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. And hopefully we'll be able to film a bunch of that.
Pat Manley says, will you be coming to Coe College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa?
Coe College. Hey, Coe College. As you guys know, if you've seen the video online of what happened at Coe, we had an amazing thing happen there. I would love to come back to Coe. So the powers that be at Coe College, please get in touch with Rich Nicodem at GP Entertainment or Tim Moyer at GP Entertainment, and I would love to come back out there. I'm always in Iowa, guys. It's kind of like my second home now.
Linda Marquise invited us to Philly to do some investigations. Sandy Boet Miller said, big fan of all you do and how much you help others in this life as well as in the afterlife.
Sandy's awesome. And I'll never forget Sandy. I feel like Joe Biden right now. I feel like I'm retelling stories. I remember when we made the connection for you in New Orleans the first time at the old mortuary. And it was just a total impromptu thing. And we became such good friends after that. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you for the kind words, and thank you for being such a good friend and a supporter through all these years. I really appreciate that.
Donna Stronheim asks, will you be coming back to Texas, Galveston or Houston?
Right now I'm trying to set up an event in San Antonio. I'm actually going to be heading out to San Antonio to try to work out this event. I would love to come back to Galveston, and Donna, as you know, we just had an amazing time out there. We'd have to get your dad out and get everybody out there to do another event. I'll never forget, and I'm sure you can remember this, when we were in the hotel and we were trying to contact the spirits that were there, and all of a sudden all the spirits who had actually drowned from the hurricane, from the flood, started coming through the box, thousands of voices. And it was Jan Murphy who actually stepped up as an attendee and started saying the Lord's Prayer over the top of the box. And if you remember, all the voices started getting quiet, and they all were saying, they can hear us, they can hear us. And we sent so many spirits through that night. I'll never forget that experience. Yes, I would love to come back to Galveston. That's an awesome place.
Kristen Jeffers says, remind them about the group page as a contact as well.
Group page?
He has a group page.
Whose group?
Our group page, apparently.
Oh! No, I'm just kidding. Ghost Box Paranormal Society, guys. You can always get in touch with us for investigations through there. And you can get it on Facebook. That's probably the best way, and that'll lead you to all the other media links, social media links.
Jane Blanket also asks, have you ever been to the Winchester House?
Yes, many years ago. Many years ago.
Ooh, Donna also says, heck yes, Hotel Galvez, and I got attacked at Tremont Hopus.
Yeah, it was an intense experience. That whole event in Galveston was very intense. And if you guys remember, and you'll read in the book too, we actually made, sounds like I'm on it. See, this is why we're doing the TV show. I have to tell you right now that the web series, it sounds like, I wouldn't believe it if I wasn't there, but I talk about it in the book. When we actually went to Dealey Plaza on the way down to do the event there, and we actually communicated with JFK, Jackie, and his brother up on the grassy knoll. They came through the box and gave us all that information before we were chased out of town.
Sarah Huff says, what is your favorite place to investigate?
Oh, gee, Sarah, probably our old house, honey. That's my daughter, by the way. Hi, sweetheart. The old house was a little bit crazy, but no, still for me, one of my favorite places to investigate, Lumber Baron Inn, and I'm not just saying that for Joel and Elaine, but I really love it there. On the darker end of things, the more suspect end of things, I'd say the Peabody Mansion, and Lizzie Borden. I'd say Lizzie Borden as well.
Jamie Garcia asks a very interesting question. Can energy from spirits make threads stand on their own?
Ooh, good question. I believe so.
Sounds like something happened.
Yeah, that does sound like something happened. We might have to get into that conversation later. Spirit energy always fascinates me. Just when you think it can only do a certain amount of things, you find out that there's this whole other world and abilities that they have. So that wouldn't shock me. I remember when I used to go to the Hearthstone Inn in Colorado Springs, and there was a spirit that was there of a child. And in the same spot, I'd walk in and I'd say, "Can you do it again?" And their energy, the static energy, would literally take my hair and lift my hair up in the air at the same spot every single time. I say, "Okay, let go," and it would go right back down. And a lot of witnesses to that one.
Sherry Hoobridge says, I missed it. When's the web show on again?
We're going to be debuting February 1st, and it's going to be happening at 7 p.m. Mountain, which again, I have to go back through this, 9 East, 8 Central, and 6 Pacific. Whew. My brain had to work hard on that one, sorry.
Definitely. After this, it's just a bunch of just reiterating when the day was. Jane also asked, I've got some footage I took and I'd love your opinion on it.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of likes of support. And it kind of... Denise Garcia says, Chris, David wanted me to ask you if your spirit box has ever turned on its own and started giving you messages.
I can't say it's turned on my own, but one of the coolest experiences I've ever had, and I hope Joy and Chuck are watching because this was so cool. We were at the Mason House Inn in Bentonsport, Iowa, and we had a huge group of people, and we're doing a demonstration, and Chuck, love you Chuck, but you like to push a little bit, as you know. He always wants the answers, and he was asking about heaven. And if I remember the first time around, he pushed a little bit too hard, and they said, "Not for you to know." And then at that point, the battery went and just drained completely at that point in front of a lot of people. We lost a few people in the room at that point. And then we plugged the box in, went back and did it again. And Chuck decided that, being the quantum physicist that he is, decided that he would go back and change the wording on how that all went. And again, the voices came back up, "Not for you to know." And then the actual switch on the box went click and turned off. I'll never forget that. Chuck won't either. I know that for a fact.
You and I got yelled at by an angel last time.
Yeah.
Oh, because I pushed a little too hard too.
Rachel likes to push a little bit herself, yeah.
Oh, well, I had to know, and I got a kind of scary answer.
You did.
With the shh, and I was like, oh my god. That's
it's
terrifying.
True. Rachel was shhed by a ghost.
I was, and it was kind of scary. Vicky Rogers says, I have something that has been following me for 17-ish years. It's never hurt me, but has spoken and touched me. What could it be?
That's a good question. I always hate to speculate if I don't know the entire situation. I would say the best thing that we could ever do is really come out and do an investigation for you or do a spirit phone session for you. It may be a spirit that's attached to you. It could be a guide. It could be an angel. There's a lot of things that go along with that. So I never like to speculate and just say, oh, it's this or that. I have no idea at this point.
I kind of go off feelings. If you feel threatened, you're probably being threatened.
Yeah, it's usually the energy that's around you will tell you.
Yeah, she says, wow, thanks.
Absolutely.
Okay. Whew, my biceps. Oh my gosh. No, after this is kind of just reiterating what time the show is on for different time zones.
Sure.
And that is the last question that I'm seeing right now.
Do you guys have any other questions for me right off the bat? Because I want to flip this thing around and let you ask Rachel a few questions if you have any. Any other questions for me, guys?
Vicky says, thanks. I've never felt threatened by it.
Oh.
So it's probably a good thing. I would trust that gut.
Yeah, if you're not feeling threatened, you probably don't have anything to worry about at all.
Yeah. Denise says, Chris, David also wanted me to tell you that he loves your hair.
Well, it's like I said, James got into it a little bit earlier. Seaweed shampoo, condition, towel dry. That's all I can tell you guys. No more secrets. That's all.
Mine is, oh crap, it's 3:30. I gotta get out of bed. I don't think I brushed my hair nearly enough. I'm like, what is this? Hygiene. I'm just kidding. That's not true. It's not true. Jane says, thank you.
Absolutely.
Of course. And then I can't scroll down anymore. So I'm not sure. Ooh, we got more people to join too.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. talking about the web show. Again, let me say really quickly, Ghost Box Chronicles is the name of the show. Hashtag is going to be GBC. So when you see that up there, make sure that you know that's us. GBC is Ghost Box Chronicles. And tell your friends. Tell everybody you know.
Please, for the love of God. For the love of Jesus. Jane Blanket says, also, do you believe that there are bad spirits who try to trick the dying?
Oh,
buddy.
Yeah, that's a tough question. You know, as we know, light and dark, good and evil, the whole idea that goes along with that, it wouldn't surprise me. But, you know, everything that I've seen from the passing process, people really make their own decision upon the time that they cross. The troubled souls sometimes will get stuck in the middle ground, and we run into issues with that. But for the most part, we have our choice if we want to go through the light, through the door.
Definitely. Yeah, and just a lot of... Denise Watkins says, hi, Christopher.
Hi.
Denise said, okay, you made him happy with that. Kara Morgan also says hello.
Hi.
And just a lot of love and support.
Awesome. You guys, and that's really what this is about. You know, we're not doing this on a network. This is just going to be something that's going to be out there for you guys to enjoy. And we really want you to be involved. Give your feedback. Tell us what you think. Good, bad, otherwise.
Cannot scroll down anymore. I'm not sure
We're
what that
having scrolling
means.
issues.
I am not tech savvy other than editing. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm going to grab the video here, and I am actually going to have you guys talk to Rachel for a minute. And if you have any more for me, we'll get that afterwards. So we're going to flip around. I'll grab the device here.
Yes, because apparently I can't flip a camera.
Okay, so that's the bottom. Okay.
Hello.
All right. So, Sue Smith says I'm awesome. Thank you, Sue Smith. Can't wait to see you and your mama soon. Yes, we will be there very, very soon. Thank you so much. Thank you. April, boy, I don't want to get this wrong. Ditalo? I hope I said that right. Ditalo. Has a spirit ever touched you? We'll get back to Rachel.
Has a spirit ever... That is a great story. I have been touched by good spirits on the leg. I had a spirit, from what I understand through a ghost box session, reached under a bed and punched me in the leg. Other than that, I haven't been touched. And that's actually because I found out through a spirit box session and a reading session with Christopher and Mama Moon. I have 6 spirit guides that get very angry when things try and get near me. So I've had things get really, really close to me, but I've only ever been touched once, and it wasn't, it was a playful spirit. It was just trying to happen. It happened to everybody. So, but other than that, I would say I'm very well protected, which I will keep very close to my heart.
Absolutely. And on my side, from behind the camera here, as you guys know, I've been touched many times and choked. So that's not a fun experience.
I don't want to get choked. I'm just the cameraman. Don't touch me.
Yeah, they could definitely do that. Hey, thanks guys for starting to do that hashtag GBC. We really appreciate that. That's so awesome.
Thank you.
Miss Crane Rowe, good to see you here. Loved your piece that you did with the Lumber Baron and everything, and really enjoyed that. Just had it translated recently, so thank you. It was really, really good. That was awesome. And then Chantel says, it's great how the Lumber Baron things bring so many people together. I totally agree with that. It's brought all these amazing people together. I wouldn't trade it for the world. We've all had these amazing experiences.
Yeah, I actually got to be in the Lumber Baron at night, with Chris and one other person, and it's so weird. It's not like you see, sometimes it's different in person sometimes. When we made contact with something, it was 7 o'clock at night, super dark, and we were the only ones there. Suddenly, we were walking down the hall, and suddenly my vision just cleared, hyper cleared, and I felt something down the hallway. It's like when you hold your hand really close to someone and you're not touching them, but you know that there is something just beyond you. That's what it feels like. And it kind of hit me like a Mack truck, and I even backed up, and I was like, no, I'm gonna keep my camera with that, between that.
There you go. We had another question here.
Yeah, of course.
April Datalo.
Datalo.
We pronounced the name correctly. She said it.
I like that.
She said the house we grew up in had a spirit that we thought was our great grandmother, and she would tickle our feet.
Like I said, if you don't feel threatened by it, there's a good chance that it's not threatening. Still being touched on the feet in the middle of the night, I can tell you right now, I would not be a fan of that. So kudos to you for chilling in the house for that long, because yeah. So I hope it was. I really hope it was someone that was very good to you.
I totally agree with you. Jane Blackett asks, are you able to choose or invite a particular person to make contact through the box, or is it more random? I guess that one's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Every time that I do a spirit phone reading, you're actually able to call out to the spirits that you want to communicate with, and the technicians or guides, however you want to call that, will actually go out and identify them almost like DNA, and then bring that spirit through. I just had an amazing reading with an old friend today, and she was a little shocked at how easy that really was for them to come through and bring through that voice and that personality. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, this is from somebody named Dina Awada Mom.
That's messed up. That's messed up. It's his wife.
Just kidding. So it says, Rachel, what's the strangest thing you've experienced while filming for GBC?
The strangest thing. Oh my God, where to start? Well, I don't know if it's editing next to everybody or actually being on location, but every single time I go anywhere with this crew, I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? To answer that question, I would say the most prominent thing was when I started asking questions about my past life, because it has been something that has been very shrouded in mystery for me, and apparently some not good things happened that we can't talk about. And Chris and I got shushed by a very commanding female spirit, and I got a few other names, but that kind of hit a little too close to home, and that really impacted me a great deal, along with speaking with some other people from my past.
Katie Bent, no, I can talk, I promise. Bentnell, have you ever had an experience on your own growing up?
Yes. I learned through Mama Moon and Christopher Moon that to a degree I am sensitive, and that, let me tell you, explained my whole family. I mean, my sister and my mom are also, I would say, very intuitive people, very sensitive people, but I had experiences long before I went with Christopher Moon and his team. One of the scarier ones that I've been on, the investigation that I went on with another amateur group before I met Christopher Moon, I had actually been followed home and had nightmares for about a week about people that were not alive laying in bed next to me and like pushing me and trying to get my attention. That was terrifying, and hearing footsteps at the bottom of my stairs, like, so they weren't always necessarily good. So coming and working with Christopher and the rest of the group, it's like a total 180. I had just such beautiful experiences with them the moment I started working with them. Anything else has been I've been a little scared for a very long time, and now I'm not.
That's a good thing. Anybody have any other questions for Rachel? That's the Christian maneuver right there. Yeah, we get that one every time.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right, it looks like we're good. I'm going to go ahead and flip this back, and you can do the magic that goes along with that. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. So once again, guys, thank you to everybody who stopped by and asked questions. And just to reiterate one more time, it's going to be the Ghost Box Chronicles. It's going to air February 1st. It's going to happen at 7 p.m. Mountain, and I'll let you guys do all the math that goes along with that. 9 p.m. Eastern, all that. And we're really excited. We're going to give you more details about that as time goes on. 3 days prior to the airing, we're going to announce what's taking place after the event. And sorry to be so secretive about it, but you know, we've had things borrowed from us already quite a few times, and we just want to make sure that this is something brand new for you guys, and I guarantee it's going to be unique. So if you think this was fun, I promise you're going to enjoy what's going to happen next. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to wrap up now. Rachel, do you see the little finish button up there?
Is it the little...
It says finish or stop or whatever the case might be.
There's just a wand and a turnaround.
That's not the right one.
No, it's not. Oh, yes, I found it. I found
Okay.
it.
So, love you guys. We thank you for everything. Thank you for the support. We couldn't do this without you. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.